Hey guys, hello. So today's Training Tuesday is going to be on receiving and packaging and orders. So let me just get everybody invited here. And then we can get started. So as you pop on, just say hello. I love to hear from you. Hello, whoever just popped on. I'm doing this through my computer, so it's a little bit different. I actually have to scroll through. It's not just the group people, which is really weird. So hopefully I get everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay, so whoever's on here, hi Linda. So whoever's on here, just hit the invite button and try and invite whoever you can that's in this group. So today I'm going to show you guys how to, and hopefully my internet holds up. Let me know. Hey guys, so shout out when you get on here. Just give me a hey. So I'm going to show you guys how I package my orders. So when I get my orders in, hey Jenna. Jenna, if you get a chance, can you hit invite friends and just invite everybody that you can? It's not really letting me do that on my laptop for some reason. So when I get an order, I make sure I have kind of all evening to separate it, label it, package it, etc. Because it generally takes a bit of time. I'll sit down in front of the TV, clear off my coffee table, and kind of get going. I'm also very lucky to have an office space where I can set up a table and lay it all out if I have to. Thanks so much, Jenna. So first thing I do is I pull up the order, and I do that on my tablet. But you can print it off, or you can just have it on your phone or whatever on your laptop, so that you can see everybody's orders as you pull them out of the box. I normally label as I go, so I also want to talk to you really quickly about my labels before we get started. So as you can see, my labels are on like a really long, I've printed out 100, so it's on a really long piece of paper or whatever. So these are all individual labels. I actually have, I'm going to pop back in the front here. I actually have a Dymo printer. I'm just going to unplug it so I can show you guys. That's the one thing I didn't do. So I actually had problems with this guy, and Dymo sent me a whole new one. So it's this little printer. So it's not very big, and it's actually what the hospitals use when they do your bracelets, when they put that little sticker on. So you can put any size sticker in here you want. They're all rectangular, but it's great because I print as many labels as I need at a time. I can do sample labels. I can do anything I want, really. It's totally up to me and my creativity, but you can do, like, I'll show you my sample labels here. So they say, hopefully you guys can see that. So those are the ones I print out with my Dymo printer there. These are my actual labels that everything gets labeled with. Okay, so it makes everything really clean and professional. The machine itself, I think, was just over $100. I got it from, you can look on Amazon.ca, but check out your prices at different areas, because I bought mine at Uline, and it was actually a better deal than Amazon at the time. So look it up. It's a Label Writer 450. It's super useful, and the thing is it doesn't use ink. So I buy my packages of paper off of Amazon. I buy them in bulk. So it's not really, I think I spent $40, and I've been using it for 4 or 5 months now nonstop. And then it doesn't use ink. It's a thermal paper. So you'll never have to buy ink for it, which is really nice. Okay, let's get to the order. So first of all, I look and kind of see, and you sort of know whose order is what, right? Because you remember from when you took their order. So what I do is I take stuff out of the bag and I label it, and I try and put it in a very visible, so this is where I put it here, try and put it in a very visible space. And what I do is, if I know, that the customer, like I know that this customer has gotten 3 or 4 of these, so So I'll just put those all, yeah, 4. So I'll just put those all together in one pile for her. These are so cute, by the way, guys. These little buddy sweaters. Have you guys been promoting the holiday catalog? So some of the things that you'll need when putting orders together. I like Scentsy's promotional material. They're fairly cheap. They're affordable. I know that I will look professional using it, etc., etc. So that's what I go with. That being said, that's a personal choice. You don't have to. But I think that for $4, you get a good pack of brochures that are beautifully printed on really nice paper. It's all color. It's very hard to come by that. But I will tell you that I went to Staples this week and I printed out some stuff. And I was quite surprised it actually wasn't too expensive. So if you need to print out anything, give Staples a peek because their prices are fairly reasonable. And yeah. So I label everything, guys. Everything that leaves my house gets a label. And I don't care if it's going in the shower. I don't care if it's a washer whisk. I don't care if it's going to a kid. It's getting a label because you know what? You never know whose hands that's going to come into contact with. They might put their bar in a drawer and they might not really like it, but they might have a friend who's like, oh yeah, no. Oh, I really like that scent. And they might say, you know what? Here, just have it. I'm never going to use it. I don't really like it. So just take it. And then that person's going to need Scentsy and they're going to need to contact you and they won't be able to. So you want to make sure that you're accessible, that your information is everywhere. Like I said, so even on warmer boxes, I'm labeling them. I'm just trying to make sure that no matter, that it's really hard for people to not find my information. So let's start with, I know these guys go together. I know those two go together. This goes there. I know that's an order by itself. So I'm not going to keep you guys forever. And if I label all these bars, it'll probably take quite a while. So I'll just show you with the holiday lights here, because this is just by itself. Someone ordered that by itself. So I'll show you how I ordered it. So I went on Uline again. And when I go on, would you be able to please send me an example of your label? Seems a bit hard to see. Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll take a picture of it as well and post it in the comments once I'm done here. So I went on Uline and I bought a whole bunch of gift bags. And they're super cheap. I think they worked out to less than 5 cents a bag. And I also did the same and I bought a whole bunch of tissue paper. This is tissue paper. And I've had the tissue paper for over a year. It's already lasted me through one Christmas season and I'm still not close to running out. So, I mean, it's definitely worth it. You do put in a bit of an investment in the beginning, but you get such a quantity of product that it's not a big deal. So if you don't want to go through Uline and buy bulk, go to your local dollar store. Look out for people who are getting rid of their Christmas stuff or anything like that. A lot of people get rid of a big load of these when they're cleaning up their... Oh, hey, Tiff. How are you feeling? A lot of people get rid of a whole bunch of these. Hold on one moment. Oh, it's you. Sorry, my dogs are here. I have to make sure they're not chewing on each other. People get rid of lots when they clean up their apartments and cupboards and stuff. So if you see them, grab them because they're not going to go bad. You can store them somewhere in your house or in your office, and then when you need them, you have them. Because people do appreciate the little things like getting their order in a gift bag. So for holiday lights, it's small enough that I can just fit it in here. So I'm going to put that in there. I've made up these little, and I'll bring it up for you to see as well, these little packs, and they have cotton balls in them. Oh, geez. Here we go. And they just tell you how to clean your wax. And a lot of people don't realize that they can use something like cotton balls to clean their wax. So I just throw one in and people get really excited and they think, oh, that's such a great idea. Now this little basket back here has my samples in it. So this has my mixture samples, so samples that are available throughout the season. And then this one has my current scent of the month. And that's just so that when I give them my scent of the month or warmer of the month flyer, just need my stapler, that I can just staple the scent sample to that flyer, and then when they're looking at it and they see that the scent of the month is pumpkin cinnamon swirl, and they can see right on there, oh, that's what it smells like. There's no digging around in the bag or anything like that. I also make sure to include a harvest collection and a holiday collection because both of these are current catalogs. Now I know that this customer already has a catalog, so I'm not going to give her a full catalog, but in case she has misplaced it or she just wants to look, I'm going to give her a product sheet. She can even hand this off to her friends, anything. So I give her that just in case. I fold it up so it's the same as the other flyers, and I tuck that in there. Now, I give each customer at least the one scent of the month sample that we staple to the flyer, and I give them 2 or 3, depending on the order size, sometimes more, of the samples that I've made. So I'm going to throw in pumpkin roll and jammy time for her to try next time. Now, the only thing that we are missing from this basket, oh, I lied. Sorry, guys, I was trying to set up thinking, what do I put in an order? And I didn't want to forget anything, but I did. I forgot my business cards. So I have 2 business cards. I have my regular ones, and then I have my my kind of referral type one. So it says, if you love your order, share a picture on social media and receive a free scent circle with your next order. Be sure to tag me. And then on the back, it actually says my VIP group so that customers know where they can join to get all of the info. So I put one of those each in. They also everybody gets a Go flyer because I love this, my new Go, my Scentsy Go is amazing, and I want to share it with everybody. So I got the flyers, I've labeled them all. Everything that's going in this bag is labeled. My product sheets have been stamped. My flyers have been either labeled or stamped. My samples have my contact information on them. You know, like I said, you never know where it's going to end up. She might hand that flyer off to someone. She might hand that sample off to somebody. You want to make sure that they can get back to you regardless of how they found you. Okay, so we have business cards, we have marketing material, we have samples, we have the cotton ball, the little cotton ball gift. I only bought these from the dollar store, the cotton balls. The bags, same thing, dollar store. I bought them in bulk with Uline. It's a super cheap gift, and people get super excited about it. It's tiny touches like this that help your business, that help you retain customers. Now, I also went on Vistaprint, and I had a little postcard made up. And again, I'll post pictures of all these things in the comments. But it has my face on it, and that's a big deal because when people see your face, they want to buy from you again. They make that personal connection, and that personal connection is what makes them stays your customer, right? Like it helps them to become your friend and build a relationship. So what I do on these postcards, if they're just blank on the other side, they don't say anything. So what I do is I take a Sharpie and I just say. So I know that this one's for Denise, so I say Denise. I say, thank you for your purchase. You're going to love your new night light. Make sure to post pics. Now you also want to add in something. So now you've said thank you for your purchase. You've said how much she's going to love it. Now you want to add something and you want to think about this. Do you want her to host a party? Do you want her to join your team? Think of the possibilities. So I'm going to say something along the lines of if you're interested, so I'm going to say host a party in the next 2 months and earn a mini warmer for free. And I'm going to use my perpetual party reward at the end of her party to get that warmer for half price, and I'll eat the $13 difference because I'll get that in commissions plus more from the whole party. So now I'm going to say, and remember, we can do this because this is private. This is not going on Facebook. You're not sending the, you're not putting this in a random bathroom. You're giving this to her. It's a private message. So host a party and earn a free nightlight. Ask me for options. And then I'm going to say much love, Alicia. Now, you guys might think, well, why do I want to write every person a handwritten note? It's going to take forever. It's not going to take forever. Normally what I'll do is I know the UPS is coming the next day or within the next couple days. So I'll sit down with a whole bunch of postcards in my Sharpie. I'll write out all my thank you notes and I'll get them done. The reason you want to do this is this thank you note is not only a thank you note, it's going to be the tag for your gift. When I go out to deliver, I have a big box of deliveries and they go in my car, and as I pull up, I have to figure out whose box is who. So I used to go digging for these cards, and then I used to make separate labels, and I used to cut them out. And then I thought, you got to work smarter, not harder. So what I do now is, so this bag is ready to go. Everything is in it that needs to go in it. So I take my trusty hole punch, and I just hole punch where there's no pictures or pictures or words. Ooh, I have the hiccups now. Okay, I take one piece of tissue paper, and I am kind of cheap with my tissue paper, guys, because, you know, the person doesn't need 4 of them. They're only going to throw them out at home. No one's keeping the tissue paper. No one's thinking, oh, how pretty, and keeping it as a souvenir. So I just spread it out to cover everything inside. I keep it coming up a little bit. And then I take some dollar store ribbon. I just get the spools from the dollar store whenever I run out. I don't need too much. I have purple and white here. I generally try and go 2 tones because I find it looks a bit cuter. And I do just enough that I can cut it in, or I can fold it in half, thread it through that hole that you just punched, bring her handles up to the top, and I try to make it so that the writing is facing in, so that if you're leaving it on her porch or whatever, you know, the whole world isn't seeing your nice little message to her. And I just tie it. And guys, I am not a fancy like gift wrapper or anything. I'm not very good at it. So I just cut those 2 loops. And I actually now, what I find when you tie with multiple pieces of ribbon, I find that it never tightens properly. And then you'll be driving to do your deliveries and you'll realize half of your gifts are coming apart. So what I do is I just take a couple single pieces and do a single knot just to secure it. And then I just open up my scissors and I curl the ribbon. Now all these things, they're such tiny little touches. It took me less, like, I mean, now because I'm breaking it down for you guys, right? It takes me a while. But normally this takes me less than 5 minutes. I label everything. I kind of set it out in the piles that I know it goes in. And then I work on putting all the paperwork per each order, putting it all in bags per each order, and then closing them up. So I'll show you what that looks like up close. So this is what my customer will receive, a nice white bag. Sometimes I'll throw some stickers on the front. Her thank you note is right here, and that also doubles as her tag. She's got some nice curly ribbon and some beautiful tissue paper. Now again, all of this can be done from dollar store material. I go and buy it in bulk from Uline, but that's my personal choice. Do not feel obligated to do that. It's just what works for me in my business. It was more financially feasible to do that instead of do all these little orders. So now I want to show you how I work with my larger orders, my more awkward sized orders. So let me just see who has that on this. Okay. So Frost bubblegum, 4 of these. She needs Just Breathe, Welcome Home, and coconut lemongrass. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this specific order for you guys so you can see how I pack a larger than normal order, because it is slightly different. Okay. There we go. Coconut lemongrass. Perfect. So now I'll also show you, while I have the opportunity, where I label my bars. Now I put it inside the clamshell so that every time they open the bar, to sniff it, to share it with their friends, just to see, you know, if that's what they want to use that day. They see my name, and every time they see my name, they might not realize it, but it's sticking in their head as they sniff that bar. And eventually, as they keep sniffing those Scentsy scents, they'll kind of start to associate it with me. And that's kind of the goal, right? So, a larger than normal order. So obviously, anything bigger than a nightlight or 6-pack of bars or a couple other things can't fit in something like this. So something like our Buddy Frost here with the scent pack and the 4 things of Buddy clothing and then the bars is going to be a little bit awkward and a little bit hard to fit in a bag like that. So what I do, instead of just putting it, now I won't lie, I do have some customers that buy bulk amounts and I have huge bags. I bring them to events just in case. They're huge. They open up. I could fit 2 diffusers in here, which is why I bought them. It's mostly for diffusers, but they're huge, okay? Now, it's kind of plain. It's kind of boring. I really avoid giving this to people unless they're really buying in bulk, right? But I want to make my customers feel special. I want them to feel like it's Christmas, and I want them to be excited when they open their gifts. So what I do for the larger than normal orders is I actually use my tissue paper as wrapping paper. So I'm going to pull this piece here. Let's try and do this with everything not being in the way. Okay. With these. So now so I'll normally, like this set of things, I'll do two sets. So I'll put all the Buddy clothing and the wax together, and I'll put the Buddy itself with its scent pack together like this. So I'm going to take my tape. Tape is something I always have in my office. I normally have about 4 open and on the go. It's very, very useful. So I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to hold that scent pack up for me. And we have to remember that this is just tissue paper, so we have to be very delicate. It can rip or tear, and we just need to be gentle with it. Now, I always try and test to make sure that it's going to be long enough. This one will be fine. So I'm just going to use 1 piece of tape to hold it to the top. Another small piece of tape up here. Okay. And then just wrap it like a Christmas gift. Again, remembering that the tissue paper is fragile, so don't be too rough. And you don't need a lot of tape for that same reason. And guys, this isn't something that you have to be super talented at. I'm going to show you this wrap job. It's not perfect. Your customers don't expect perfection, so don't worry. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. So look, this is nowhere near perfection. This is nowhere near gorgeous or whatever. I'm going to try and bring you guys closer as well. Okay, this is nowhere near perfection or anything like that. There we go. So just do your best, and your customers appreciate that. So there's that half of it, and then I'm just going to grab another piece of tissue paper and do the same thing with the 3 bars and the sweaters. So I'm just going to lay it out. Move that so you guys can see. So it's actually, I find, really helpful if you tuck it, like they kind of sent them to you. Put those there. Put her 3-pack. Now this wonderful lady is hosting a party for me at the end of the month. So instead of asking her to host a party or anything like that, I'm just going to say to her how excited I am to go to her party and to meet all her friends. Ooh. There we go. So again, this is just simple tissue paper. You can buy it from the dollar store. I've decided to buy mine in bulk. But getting it from the dollar store works just as well. And I'm actually going to use, now you'll see, the bags that Scentsy sends us, well, sometimes sends us with orders. So remember that the bags that Scentsy sometimes sends us are a courtesy. They're not something that you should expect. But when we do get them, it's always nice and we get always excited. So they're just clear plastic bags. And that's why I kind of jazz up the wrapping of what's going into them. So I just open it up. I put whatever is the most flat on the bottom. And then I have two options here. I can either put it on the side or I can put it on the top. And what I think I'm going to do is put it on the side just like this with the bars to the bottom because they're the heaviest. And then I add all my literature. So I'm going to put my cards in. Now this one, remember, is now clear. So you want to make it a bit more visible for your customers. You want them to kind of see it a bit more. So I'm going to put all of my Harvest collection, my Scentsy Go, my holiday brochure in there as well. I'll put this on the side. Now she has a basket party, so I'm not going to give her a catalog, but again, I'll give her a product sheet. She has a few in there, but in case she needs another. Okay. Let's staple my sample to my scent of the month brochure. All right. Give her a couple samples. Now, like I said, she's a very good customer who's hosting a party with me at the end of the month. So I might toss her a couple extra samples because she's awesome. But I would also let her know, hey, you know, watch your, oh, is that Nathan? Hi, baby, love you. I'll say, hey, watch your bag because I threw some extra samples in there because you're such an awesome customer. So again, I'm going to throw in one of those cotton balls and I'm going to write her thank you note super quick. And I'm doing this all on air so that you guys can see that it doesn't take a lot of time. It's possible to kind of bang these out if you're prepared. So normally I wouldn't write these thank you notes at the time of packaging. I would be sitting down on the couch, banging them all out the day before they come. So I'm just going to say thank you for your order. I know you guys will love your new Buddy Frost. I can't wait for your party at the end of the month. Much love, Alicia. And a lot of the time I tell to people I want you to write a handwritten note to your customers and they say no because their writing is messy. I'm a lefty. Your writing cannot get messier than mine. I promise you that. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. So go to the dollar store and get these plastic bands that nobody ever wants in their hair. They're really, really thin. They mostly use them for like cornrows and really tiny pigtails and stuff. People would hate to have these in their hair and I don't blame them, but they're fantastic for when you need to tie these. So I have everything in here. I have my samples. I have my my thank you note, all my marketing materials. So I'm just going to gather all this plastic at the top. And remember, this is just the clear bag that Scentsy sends you. Just going to tie it with that cheap hair elastic. And it's going to hold it for me. Oh, and see, talking to you guys and Nathan distracting me. And I left the thank you note in there. So I'm just going to pop this elastic off. No biggie. There we go. All right, let's try this again. So just gather everything at the top. See, Nathan's, he's watching Training Tuesday today because he's waiting for me to call him after Training Tuesday. Okay, so tie it tight, make it look kind of cute. If I have a lot of bag left, I trim it, but I don't have that much, so I'm just going to leave it today. Again, hole punch right in the corner. take a bit of your ribbon, which I cannot find the start of. There we go. Almost. There we go. Okay. I'm going to show you guys one more thing after this. I promise. Then I will leave you alone because this is the longest Training Tuesday I think we've done. Okay. So trim your ribbon. I'm OCD, so I like both sides to be as even as possible. Put it through. Tiff, you know I always blame Nathan. It's always his fault. Tiff has come to enough of my baseball games to know that. All right, tied up. Now, and I cannot stress enough, guys, how important it is to do a couple of single ties. I know it sounds so redundant and just so like an extra step, but I'm telling you, I've had so many bags, not so much now that I've started adding the elastic bands, but the ribbon will come apart. The ribbon will fall off, and then you're going to be kind of sad because your ribbon is, you won't have ribbon and nothing to hold on your thank you. So I'm just going to quickly curl all the ribbon. So I'm telling you guys, like when I go into Dollarama, people know I'm a Scentsy consultant because I buy them out of their gift bags and their ribbon and their tissue paper and their tape. And the girls always laugh at me. They're like, wow, you must have a lot of Christmas presents. And I'm like, no, I actually spoil my customers like this. So I'll show this one to you. So again, it's pretty simple, but it's something that the customers don't generally get. So they get really excited when you give them something like that, right? So the last thing I want to show you is I get a lot of requests to give gifts to fundraisers, silent auctions, etc., etc. So yeah, plus my Scentsy sweater. You're right, Nathan. It has nothing to do with the fact that my car is decked out in Scentsy either. But so I get asked to do silent auctions, that kind of stuff, to do up a basket for them. So the high school that I went to here in town has a pink day. And when I was in school, I was very involved in the pink day. So when I saw that they were looking for silent auctions, I said, hey, I can donate something. So what I do is I get these baskets from the dollar store. They're the same baskets I had all my samples in and stuff. I grab like 5 or 6 of them at a time. They're $2.50 each. And I just keep them on hand for whatever I need, either for knickknacks, for samples, for whatever. So first of all, trick, ceramic nightlights fit. Glass nightlight boxes don't fit as well. And you also want to tape, hold on. You want to tape everything in, because this is what I do. I set this up with all my info as if it was an order. I have my tea light out because, or my mini warmer out because people want to see what they're bidding on. I give them a bar. There's some samples in here. There's that cotton ball. There's my business card. And then what I do is I take this to Sobeys, the florist, and the florist packages this up for me. She puts it in a cute little bag. She adds a ribbon, etc., etc. Okay, guys, so that's Training Tuesday. If you have any questions or you have an idea for next week, let me know. Comment, give me a shout. If anybody would like to take over for next week, let me know. Okay, guys, it was great talking to you, and hopefully you learned something. Chat soon.